I'm Dr. Barry, licensed psychologist, and here we talk about true crime and psychology. Thank you so much for joining. Let's hop right into today's topic. Let's go. Welcome. Today we are talking about a very difficult case, and so please take care of your mental health. We are also going to be reviewing some live testimony. So, with live testimony, I do not know what is coming up or what's being said. We're going to be a little bit behind court. I have it paused because the au pair is going to start some of her testimony today. And she's currently on the stand right now. And that is what we are going to get to. My heart breaks for the child that was in the home when this incident occurred. It's my understanding that she was in the basement. The defendant, Brendan Banfield, he admits to having an affair with the au pair. He denies that he I think so that I think he still says that Joe Ryan unalived his wife and that he unalived Joe Ryan. Like, I think that's what they're going to try to say. This case, the difficult aspect of it is that it looks like the au pair, so Juliana Perez, and I've heard her name said a few different ways, her last name. I've heard it Magalhaes, and she's going to say her name when she's on the stand, but she was an au pair from Brazil. She is younger, and a few people ask questions that I will get to. And once again, difficult details, difficult case, because it looks like the defendant and Juliana, they started an affair, and at some point he did not want to get a divorce. That is what Juliana says, because he didn't want to have to share custody of their daughter. And so what the state believes is that Brendan developed a profile on a app where people are looking for kinky things. And so, content warning for, I'm not going to say the R word, they do in the state's initial examination, and it may come up during the testimony today, because they were specifically looking for someone that was willing to engage in this R word fantasy where they did not meet beforehand. And there was not like a video call or anything like that that happened beforehand to confirm that the person was consenting. And the details is that they were going to leave the door unlocked. He was supposed to go there, go in, and he was specifically told, no matter what, to not stop. That is what he was told. And he was thinking that Christine, the wife, that she was the one that was requesting this for herself, but it wasn't. It was the state believes it was the husband that was doing this. The defense is going to claim that he had an affair, but that Juliana changed her story, which is true. It's my understanding she pled guilty to manslaughter, and I do believe she's going to be deported. So she is here from Brazil. I do believe that once this is all done, she will be deported back. And nobody said that explicitly, but they're going to give her time served, and I do believe she will be deported at that time. Welcome to everyone joining. So there was a general question from Cassandra about, do I believe it's a bad idea to have a younger au pair or an attractive au pair move in? Is someone like a Miss Doubtfire a better choice? And that's where The thing with the au pair relationship. So some people choose to get an international au pair because it can be a little cheaper than having a full-time nanny. And this is somebody that lives in your home, but they are not supposed to work 24/7. And so there is risk within the international au pair, like within that world, there's risk for potential exploitation, wage theft, overwork, and harm. There can be misaligned expectations, cultural clashes, blurred boundaries, leading to issues like poor communication, burnout, or even deeper issues that can occur. Now, I've known people that have had international au pairs, and it's went great for their family. I've known other people that have, like, there were issues around, I don't like, just some boundary issues, not an affair, but just with expectations around, can they invite friends over to the house, or can they have a boyfriend over, like, there are different issues around that. But so there could be risks for the au pair from the host family, including unrealistic expectations, physical and other types of harm, lack of support, and program violations. Because the host family is supposed to agree that this individual is not working 24/7. And then there can be risks to the host family, that there can be a mismatched fit. There can be unreliable care, or there can be other issues that come up within those programs. And so, I wanted to share that as a general thing. Vanessa also said, I trust my husband. I think we have a good marriage, but I've heard too many of these stories. Definitely would not want a younger hot nanny living in my house. What do I think? And so I personally, I prefer, just because of that risk of exploitation, I prefer daycare. That's what I did. So my mom watched our son until he was 18 months. And then we found a good local daycare. Some people do have nannies that come, but the live-in nanny situation can get a little sticky. So the au pair is currently testifying. And so we are going to watch and react to that together. I have not already watched it. So, and Brendan is taking a lot of notes. So if you've been following and watching this trial, he is taking a lot of notes. All right. Let me share my screen. All right. All right. And so let's hop into it. And I have a full link down in the description if you would like to watch without any interruptions. So this is right after she was sworn in to tell the truth.
Good afternoon. Could you please state and spell your name for the court record?
Yes, Juliana, Juliana Perez, Beres.
And so she is going to speak really close to the mic at times. And so if I need to adjust my volume on my end, please just let me know in the chat.
Magalhães, Magalhaes.
And how old are you now, Juliana?
25.
And do you know the defendant?
Yes.
What's his name?
Banfield.
When did you meet him?
Back in October 2021. 22.
When did you meet him?
Hmm?
When did you meet him?
Can you specify? Sorry.
When did you first meet him?
In person when I first came to the States, and before that, through a video call with the family.
Okay. Do you recall what month or year that was?
When I came to the States,
Yes.
it was October
Do you know what year?
2021.
Okay. And when you first met Mr. Banfield, what was your relationship to him?
Professional. He was my boss.
And you said he was your boss.
Yeah.
What was your job?
I was their au pair.
And so you said you worked as an au pair. What does that mean?
Au pair is like a nanny position, but somebody comes from another country, providing care for their kids, and in exchange they live with their family. And yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
Do you get paid to be an au pair?
Yes,
How much?
$200 a week.
And how long?
So $200 a week. That is very low. But I think they're trying to adjust the fact that the au pair is living the living expenses. So I think that's why they make it so cheap. But $200 a week. Okay.
Of a stay did you have as an au pair?
We can have from a year to 2 years, but as an au pair, I stayed for a year.
Okay. And did you, so you arrived, you said you arrived in October of 2021, and you said you stayed for a year?
Yeah,
And then did you extend that stay?
yes.
And how long did you extend the stay for?
I think it might have extended for another year.
Let's talk about when you lived with the Banfield family and worked for them as their au pair. Where did you live?
I lived in their house, in their home.
Okay. And who lived there with you?
It was Brendan, his wife, Christine, and their daughter.
And we know who Brendan is.
Yeah.
Who's Christine?
Christine was Brendan's wife.
And you said their daughter?
Yeah,
What was their daughter's name?
Valerie.
What was your life like with them?
With the family,
Yeah, when you first got there, what was it like?
it was kind of a period for me to adapt to the family, to my job, to the country. But I was very welcome, I guess.
And what was Brendan like when you first came to live with the family and be their au pair?
We barely spoke. Like, my relationship was mostly with Christine and Valerie. Brendan and I barely spoke at all. It was just
Okay. What was Christine like?
Christine was very friendly, very welcoming, very fair. Yeah.
Did you spend time with her and spend time with Valerie together?
Yes.
And did you spend time on your own with Christine?
Maybe a couple times going to a store or, yeah.
Do you recall if Christine had a blood disorder?
I heard about it, yes.
And do you know the name of it?
I do not know.
Do you know if she took any medication for it?
As far as I know, no.
What was Valerie like?
Valerie is very loving, very caring. She's just,
How old was Valerie when you met her in 2021?
she was 3.5, I guess.
I'm sorry, say that again.
3.5.
And were there any other children that were living in the Banfield's home while you lived there too?
No,
Do you know if they had an au pair before you were their au pair?
yeah.
Who was that?
It was Amanda.
And when you began working for the Banfields, do you need a minute?
All right. So I personally wonder if they're going to have Amanda, the prior au pair. I don't know if they would. I don't know if that would be helpful to the case at all. It's my understanding they set aside 4 weeks for this case. And so we will watch the timeline of this. The defense does sound like they have some experts and that they're going to challenge some of the testimony. So we will see. And this is a case out of Virginia. I am a psychologist right here in Virginia. I would never cover a case where I knew anyone personally or clinically. And so, but this is right here in my backyard. So, all right, we'll keep it going.
When you began working for the Banfields, do you remember what their jobs were?
Yeah,
Do you know what their jobs were?
yeah. Christina was RN, and Brenda was working, I guess, as an investigator for the IRS.
You will also see Brendan taking copious notes. He's taking a lot of notes. He will pass those notes to his lawyer. I don't know that his lawyer asks all of his questions or that he looks at everything, but he is taking a lot of notes. We'll keep it going.
At some point, while you were working for the Banfield family, did your relationship with the defendant change?
Yes.
How did it change?
It became sexual, physical relationship.
And do you recall when the relationship changed?
It was August 2022.
And did you keep the relationship, this new relationship with the defendant, did you keep this a secret?
For my part, some of my friends, they knew because I told them, and I used to post on my Instagram. But for his part, yeah, it was a secret.
Okay, you said you told some friends about it.
Yeah,
Do you remember which friends you told?
I told Beatrice about it and Pamela.
And did you take any photos of you and the defendant after you began a romantic or physical relationship?
Yes,
And you said you had posted some things to social media?
yes.
Okay. I am going to show you a couple of photos. And if I could have this view be to the witness and counsel only, please.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you Commonwealths 51, 52, 53, and 54. This is 51, 52, 53, and 54. Do you recognize these photos?
Yes, I do.
And how do you recognize them?
It's me and Brendan.
And are these social media posts that you made?
Yes.
Judge, at this time, what I would ask the court to do is admit these as Commonwealths 51, 52, 53, and 54.
All right, any objection? Okay, 51, 52, 53, and 54 in evidence.
And we can publish the
Yep.
first one to the jury. Can you tell us who's under the emoji here?
It's Brendan.
And then a couple of these have noise.
We can't see the pictures.
Can you describe who this is?
It's Brendan's hand,
And whose leg is that?
my legs.
And the date on the photo that is posted, is that the date that the photo was taken?
Yes.
And this photo here, Commonwealth 54, who's under the emoji?
It's Brendan.
Do you know when this photo was taken
It's from the same day as the previous picture.
as the previous one?
Mm-hmm.
Gonna fast forward a little.
In that post, who is present in that post?
His person behind the emoji.
And who is behind the emoji?
Brendan.
And is it you and Brendan singing in that post?
Yes.
So you began a sexual relationship with the defendant in August of 2022 when you were how old?
I was 21.
I wonder if the state is playing up her age and maybe her naivety a little bit, because I think at the time of the incident, he was 30. I know the victim, I believe, was 37, He might have been 38, something like that, because I think he's 40 right now. So, okay, let's keep it going.
When this relationship began, did you ever think about how it might end?
No, I didn't really think it was serious, a relationship.
And
Oh, how I wish they would have focused on him when she said, "I didn't think it was really that serious." I don't think she was looking to have a life with him. It's really This is just a really, really sad situation, sad case. All right, we're gonna keep it going.
did the defendant ever talk with you about any long-term plans for the two of you?
Not initially.
Not initially. Did he ever, though?
Yes.
When did that talk start?
I think it started after he talked about his plan.
Okay. And did he ever talk about the two of you getting married or the two of you having children?
Yes.
And do you recall when that talk began?
Also, after he mentioned his plan.
Did he ever talk about his relationship with his wife, Christine Banfield?
Sometimes it would come up in our conversation and he would talk about it.
And what did he say?
He used to say that she didn't seem to care about what he was doing. She didn't seem to care about him at all. And that she was helpless and just lazy.
Do you recall when he said those things?
When?
Yes.
Well, many times during our conversation when she came up.
And did he ever talk to you about
So I mentioned before, he is going to be taking a lot of notes. So anytime somebody's talking, he also is a former IRS investigator during the 911 call. So they played the 911 call earlier in today's hearing, where Juliana calls, and then you can overhear him at times. He makes the statement that what I got when I heard it was that let me find my notes, because it was something to the effect of there we go. He stabbed her, I shot him. That he said, "I shot someone." He, her, and I, him. That's what I overheard in the 911 call. He was wiping tears. I do not know if they were, I don't know, but he was showing some emotion during the 911 call. If you want to go back and take a look at that. All right, we're going to keep it going.
anything else about his relationship? Did he ever talk about getting a divorce with her?
No, he basically said divorce was not an option.
Did he say why?
Money was involved.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Money.
Okay. Anything else?
Money was involved in Valerie's custody too.
And what about those things? Did he say anything specifically about money or Valerie's custody?
Yeah, he said that he didn't want to have to share Valerie with Christine, that she wasn't good for Valerie. So he wanted to have Valerie full time. And money, because she should have more money than he would if they ever split.
And so he didn't want to get divorced. Did he tell you what he wanted to do?
Yes.
What did he say?
He mentioned his plan to get rid of her.
And you said he mentioned his plan to get rid of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When did he talk about that first?
I would say it was
Her testimony, but her testimony is just coming across very flat. She's looking down, and the jury is here. And the defense in their opening, they focused on the fact that she got a deal. The defense almost made it seem like the state was using her to make their narrative. That was kind of, but the state says that they have evidence that backs up their theory that goes beyond her her testimony, just in case jurors don't find her entirely credible. Um, I'm just listening. I'm listening with you all live. Let me know if y'all have general questions as we're going along.
In October 2022.
And what specifically was his plan to get rid of her?
Initially, he didn't really know what he would do. He just mentioned that he was thinking about it, and he would think better and let me know when he thought about it. Yeah,
Where were the two of you when this first conversation took place?
New York.
And were you on a trip to New York with only him?
It was him and Valerie.
What did you think when he told you that?
At first, I thought he was joking. Yeah, for me, it was a joke.
And you said that you were in New York when that conversation happened.
Yeah,
Did the three of you return to Virginia after that trip?
yes, we did.
And did he talk about this plan again after you returned?
Yeah,
And did he give you more information or more detail about what he intended to have happen?
yeah, he said he wasn't going to hire anybody because that is something that throughout investigation can be discovered easily. And that he had heard of a website called Fat Life. He's never done anything on the website, but he heard about it, and that's what he was going to do.
And did he tell you anything more about the plan at this point?
At that point, not really. He was still thinking about it.
And at the end of October of 2022, did you visit a shooting range?
Yes,
And did anyone come with you?
Brendan.
The first time that you went to the
So I just want to mention why the state is bringing this up. So the state believes that Brendan was training her, because this goes to premeditation, that he was training her how to use the weapon. They're going to say he provided it to her. And because it's my understanding, I think she let off a shot too. And this whole case is just super, super sad. But that is the state's theory, was that he was training her, I guess, to do the crime.
shooting range. Do you recall signing any paperwork?
Yes.
Judge, at this point, I'm going to display a photograph. I would ask for the display to be to the witness and counsel only.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to look at the screen in front of you. Do you have, is there a document on your screen?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm gonna scroll through this document for you slowly.
Just for the record, could you, the exhibit number of the
Oh,
document?
it is exhibit number 56.
Thank you.
Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes.
And how do you recognize it?
It's the waiver you have to sign when you first go to the shooting range.
And did you sign this?
Yeah.
Is that your signature there on page 6?
Yes.
Judge, at this point, I'm going to ask to admit this as Commonwealth's 56 and allow for it to be published to the jury.
Any objection? All right, 56 in evidence and published.
And I'm going to just bring it back up to the top so that the jury can see it. Do you recall the date on the form?
Yeah, October 29, 2022.
And on that date, do you recall shooting a firearm?
Yes,
Do you remember if it was a handgun or a long gun?
it was a handgun.
And was the defendant with you while you were firing the handgun on that day?
Yes,
Did you ever go back to the firing range again?
eventually we did.
Do you remember when you went back to the firing range?
I'd say back in December.
And did you practice firing a firearm on that December visit?
Yes,
And again, what kind of firearm? Do you recall if it was a handgun or a long gun?
it's a handgun.
And was anyone with you when you returned to the firing range in December?
It's Brendan.
Judge, at this point, I'm going to ask for the view of Commonwealth 56 to be terminated to the gallery. And I am going to move to Commonwealth's 57 for the view of the witness and counsel only at this point. Do you see a photograph on your screen?
I do.
Okay. And do you recognize this photograph?
Yes,
How do you recognize it?
it's me at the shooting range.
And do you know who took this picture?
Brendan.
Judge, at this point, I am going to ask to have this admitted as Commonwealth's 57.
All right, any objection to 57? All right, 57 evidence and published.
Did the
I would love to know what he's writing. I don't know if he's dictating what everybody's saying. He is writing a lot of notes. A lot of notes.
defendant tell you why he wanted to return to the firing range for that second visit?
Yes,
And why was that?
it's in case I need to use it if something goes wrong.
And what would go wrong? What was he concerned about going wrong? Had he told you more of his plan at this point?
At that point specifically, I can't really recall.
But he told you that he wanted you at the firing range because you needed, in case something went wrong.
Yes,
Is that right?
yes.
After the December visit to the shooting range, what, if any, additional steps did the defendant take to move his plan forward?
It was in January when he created the account on the website.
Okay. So were you present when he created the FetLife account?
Yes,
And did he use his own email address to create the account?
no, he did not.
What email address did he use?
He created a new email account for Christine and Christine's name.
And were you there when he created that email address?
Yeah, yeah.
And do you recall what device he used to create the email address?
To her laptop.
And when you say her laptop, whose laptop are you talking about?
Okay, so the defense is going to try to say that there's something wrong with this part of the testimony, that he didn't use Christine's laptop to make these accounts and everything. I do believe the defense is going to try to push back on that. We shall see. Keep it going.
Christine's laptop.
And do you recall what device he used to create the FetLife account?
That was the laptop.
And when you say the laptop, are you talking about Christine's laptop?
Yes,
And do you recall the name of the profile that the defendant created for the FetLife account?
Anastasia Knight.
And was there a photograph added to that profile?
Yes,
Who is the photograph of?
it's Christine's body in a bathing suit.
And who added the photograph to the profile?
Brendan did.
And who typed the words for the profile?
You hear that?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Brendan did.
Okay. If I could have the view terminated to the gallery at this point. And I am going to ask for exhibits 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, and 65, all photographs to be displayed to the witness and counsel only at this point. I'm going to show you a series of screenshots, and then I'm going to ask you about them. So this is 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, and 65. Do you recognize these photos, these screenshots?
Yes,
How do you recognize them?
as the FetLife account.
And Judge, at this point, I'm going to ask to admit Commonwealth's 58, 59, 60, 61, under C.
Objection. All right, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, admitted under seal.
Okay, and I'm going to run back through them.
58.
Okay. So Commonwealth's 58, is this the FetLife profile that was posted?
Yeah.
They might have a hot mic. I can like hear people whispering because I was muted during all that time.
And the about section here that we can see, who wrote the words in that? Who composed that?
Brandon.
And then in 59, Commonwealth 59, is this also a part of the FetLife profile?
Yes,
And then Commonwealth 60, is this the photograph that was used as the profile photo for the FetLife
yes,
profile? And then Commonwealth 61 here, is this the group, for lack of a better word, that this profile was posted in?
oh, sorry, can you repeat it again, please?
Sure. This photograph here, Commonwealth 61, is this the group within FetLife that you use to communicate with other users?
Yes,
And then Commonwealth 62, is this the post that you and Brendan used on FetLife?
Is there an object? What's your objection, Mr. Leading? Okay,
Okay, understood.
I'll
Take-
sustain the objection.
Take a look at Commonwealth 62.
She's going to have to lay the foundation.
Can you describe for us what it is?
it's a post made on the profile
And what website was this posted on?
of FetLife.
And what was the reason for posting it?
It was what the account was first created, I guess, and to tell people what she was looking for.
And whose idea was it to post this?
Hmm?
Whose idea was it to post this?
Brendan.
Okay. We can terminate this view at this point. How did you and Brendan, how did you use the laptop? How did the two of you use her laptop without her knowing about it?
It was because every time she used to get home from work, she used to throw her backpack by the door, and in the backpack was her laptop and her work stuff.
And once the FetLife account was created, what, if anything, did the two of you do with it?
Texting other people, other guys. They would also text looking for whatever it is that they're interested in.
Okay. And had Brendan explained to you at this point in time, or was there any explanation given to you about what it was that he was using FetLife for, or what it was he was looking for from another FetLife user?
Yeah.
What was
Well,
that?
The website is for BDSM, people that like that kind of stuff, and he said we would be able to find somebody that plays like aggressive or that like
And so, content warning for the R, like the R word might come up. Okay, so we're just content warning because that was the specific thing that they were searching for essay, and I don't know what word she's going to use.
with blood and that kind of stuff.
And why? What was the, what if any reason did he want to find someone like that for?
Well, because the person would be eventually the person would be invited to come to the house, and he needed to know that the person was willing or he was going to do what he had in his mind.
And what was he using FetLife to ask other users to do to the Anastasia profile?
Things like pinning her down, gagging her, spanking. Yeah.
And when the two of you used FetLife to message other people, were you, who would do the typing? Were you typing? Was Brendan typing?
To talk to other people?
Yes.
You asked. Sometimes it would be him, sometimes it would be me by his instruction when he was with me.
And were the two of you typically together while you were using FetLife to message other people?
Yes.
And was Christine home or not home when the two of you used FetLife?
She was home.
Always?
Yes.
Why?
Because he always mentioned for us to make sure to log in on the account when she was also home. So it would have, throughout the investigation, it would have been very clear that like whenever she was using the profile, she was home, and yeah.
And you said because during the investigation. Why would there be an investigation?
Well, he always thought like in advance. He knew how the investigation would go. Like he always knew, and yeah.
But why did he know?
What did he know?
Yeah, why? You said because he always knew about the investigation. What did he know about an investigation? There hasn't been one yet.
He knew eventually we would have one investigation.
Why?
I think the state is trying to get her to say that the goal was for Christine to not be alive. That's what the state is trying to elicit from her. They're not getting there quickly, but like it's just I don't think she knows that that's what they're if that's true, that's what they're trying to get her to say.
Because there would be a murder, and it's just what happens. Investigation.
Did he tell you that?
Yeah.
What specifically did he tell you about that?
Well, he knew that we needed to have some alibis. He knew that he needed to change his routine a few weeks prior, so it wouldn't be odd that he wasn't, just at McDonald's on that day specifically.
Okay. I'm going to show you a couple of items one at a time. The parties have stipulated to the admissibility of the next two items, the next several items. The first two are going to be Commonwealth 66 and 67. And Judge, Commonwealth 66, I'm going to ask to have published to the jury and counsel only, and I'm going to ask that these be under seal.
66 and 67?
Yes.
There's an agreement to admissibility, is that correct, Mr. Kerr?
Okay.
So 66 and 67 are in evidence under seal.
Kind of fast forward a little. Great thing about being a little bit behind court. And there, yeah. Fast forward.
Going to move on for a minute and then we'll go back. Having a couple of technical difficulties, so I'm going to move on for a minute and then we'll go back to 66 and 67. Did you and the defendant ever travel out of town together?
Yes,
Where did you go?
to Winchester, Virginia.
Do you recall when that was?
When?
When?
Not exact date, no.
Do you know if it was before or after that the defendant created the FetLife profile?
Can I say if not 100% sure though?
Yeah, you can say that.
You don't recall?
No.
Okay. How did you arrange to go to Winchester together?
He was going for an overnight stay in a hotel for his job.
Okay.
And
Go ahead.
and he took his car, his work car, and I took the white car his to drive.
And when the two of you were in Winchester, was there ever any posting on FetLife at that time?
No,
And why would that have been?
because like I said before, that he always made sure to.
Your objection, Mr. Carroll. Your microphone, I can't, it's very hard to hear you. What's your legal objection?
Legal objection. She's asked and answered that she didn't do any posting.
Yeah.
So
I asked and
any
answered.
further question?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
He said asked and answered.
I don't think I asked her if any of them posted on FetLife while they were out of town in Winchester.
Okay, I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead.
Sorry. Did either of you post on FetLife or message anyone on FetLife while the two of you were in Winchester?
No,
And why is that?
because we would only post when we were home and she was home at the same time.
Okay. And were there any other things that the two of you did to make it look like Christine was the one messaging in FetLife? Do you want me to ask that a different way?
Yes, please.
Did the two of you ever message people or post on FetLife when Christine was home and only one of you was home?
Yes.
And whose idea was that?
Brenda's?
And did he say why?
Yes.
And why was that?
Because, again, when he talked about the investigation we would have at some point, he pointed out that the police would have access to where our phones are, where our phones pin, and so we wouldn't be able to accuse him of doing that because sometimes.
All right. I'm just pausing this real quick because that's pretty. So this occurred in 2023. And I don't know if because of his IRS training, he was just thinking of what an investigation might look like. And this is all, this is the state's theory. And, but it's just interesting to me. Now, the state would have been looking for, were there times that the profile was accessed when Christine was not there? And so like that was, don't do crimes. But there was a lot of thinking that went into this. And I wonder what the jury's thinking. This is only day one. This is day one of this trial, and we will see where things go.
She would be doing it, posting and messaging, and she would be home and he wouldn't be home, and other times I wouldn't be home. And so there would be no way to actually prove it. And that's the alibis he talked about.
Can you recall any specific instances of how it would have worked for one of you to be home posting while Christine was home and the other one was out of the home?
That normally happened when both of us went to the gym and he would tell me to leave earlier and go home so I'd get home before him, and for me to log in the account and text people, talk to people. And other times he would tell me to hang in the gym behind and he would leave earlier, so he would be the one logging in and talking to people.
Okay. And the gym that you're talking about, do you recall which gym that was?
Yeah, lifetime.
And did the two of you, and do you know which location?
Yeah, Ruston.
Did the two of you go to Lifetime Fitness together frequently?
Yes.
Did Christine go with the two of you?
It was just maybe a couple times, but nothing. It was normally Rona and I.
Okay. I'm going to go back to Commonwealth 66 and 67 at this point. If we could see 66.
You can publish from the table, please.
Just give us a second.
Fast forward a little.
In the gallery.
Can you see it on your screen?
Yes.
Okay. And then at the top of your screen, there's a column that's titled User ID. You see that?
Yes.
Okay. The user ID identified as Anastasia 9.
Okay.
Who wrote the messages from Anastasia 9?
All right. So the question was who wrote, and we'll remember that question. There was a good question that popped up here. Do you honestly think, let me make myself big. Do you honestly think that Juliana thought the affair was just a fling, or is she trying to downplay her part? So the defense may bring in some of her prior statements, or I would be interested to see what happens on cross-examination. I'd be interested to see what happens. And also, this is after the fact, after witnessing a crime. He is, I guess, kind of blaming her. Or no, I think his defense is still like that it was, maybe his defense is kind of it was self-defense. I don't know. His defense is a little weird, but he's definitely saying not guilty to the capital M. So hard. Okay. Like he is writing a copious amount of notes. So many notes. Oh, so that is a fetish website. Okay. So that's a website. So that's for people looking for kinky things. And if people are into that, make sure there's consent, boundaries, all of those things. Because there are multiple people that engage with them, and the way they wanted, according to the state, there were multiple people that they tried to get to agree to come over to the house. But they required like an in-person meeting beforehand, or like the details were red flags to them and they ran, which was very smart. Very, very smart. We will keep it going.
Not that specific message, but just in general. Who is the person or persons who are writing the messages from Anastasia 9?
It's either me or Brendan.
And the other user IDs that we see that are largely numbers in this view, are those messages that are received by you and the defendant using the Anastasia 9 profile?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to ask for us to scroll forward a little bit to location number 367 or cell 367. The user ID Taco Supreme 7000. Did you come to know who that was?
That's Joe.
So Joe Ryan is the other victim in this case. I have a picture. So let me share this tab real quick. Okay. So make myself a little bit smaller. So Joseph Ryan is the individual on the right. He was a stranger that they met on the app. Christine is the wife. Brendan is on trial, and Juliana, she's the one talking now. Okay. All right. Let's go back and keep it going.
And now if we could switch to Commonwealth 67. The Taco Supreme 7000 profile that you came to know as Joe Ryan. We see that profile, and we see Anastasia 9 communicating in this view of the spreadsheet. Do you recognize these as FetLife chats that you and Brendan wrote from Anastasia 9 and received from Taco Supreme?
Yes.
And when the two of you were using FetLife, I've asked you before what it was that Brendan was looking for. What is it about Joe's answers and messages that attracted Brendan to selecting Joe? Did he ever tell you?
He told me at some point too, but he was always making comments like that Joe was the white person.
Did he say why?
Because he seemed to be like the person who would do the things that Brendan needed the person to do.
Okay. And I'm now going to ask you to look at Commonwealth's 68, 69, 70, 71, and 72 one at a time.
Can you go back to that one?
Go back to this.
Yeah. You're still connected. Okay.
And Judge, let's look at 68 first.
We're just getting back to the podium. Hold on.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I do think these are all Excel spreadsheets. and I
Okay,
think
do
we're
it.
having-
Stay with me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we're having trouble with Excel from this computer.
Okay.
So first, if we could look at 68 from the witness and counsel views only. And again, Your Honor, the parties have stipulated to the FetLife chats. So I believe that all of these exhibits can be admitted, but I ask that they be admitted under seal.
68, 69, 70?
68, 69, 70, 71, and 72.
Okay. Is that correct, Mr. Carroll?
So I think the jury will be able to see these exhibits. We will not. And I do think they're pretty explicit. And they're probably doing this under seal just because of the attention and everything that this case has had. Christine, the two victims in this case, so Christine and Joseph Ryan, this is just very, very sad. Very, very sad. All right. So we will keep it going.
Do you need to see them all? She said you've already agreed to
Going back and forth.
not the miscibility, but just to the foundation.
These are the same exhibits that were provided to council last weekend. They're,
If you could go through them, do you want me to go through these and make sure
I'm going to fast
we're
forward.
hearing you up here? Ms. Brisley?
Okay. 69,
Is that correct? Mr.
1,
All right, 71 under seal, and then 72.
Camera, shaky. He's a very active client in his defense.
All right, so 72 also under seal. Okay, thank you.
okay. If we could go back to 68.
Those notes.
Can you see on your screen Commonwealth 68?
Yes.
Okay. And you see again, in the menu, in the title bar there, you see ID, conversation ID, user ID, body. So the conversation ID that we're looking at, I just want to check and make sure we're both looking at the same thing. 446774523.
Yes.
Okay. So we see these messages between this user ID and then the Anastasia profile. This user ID says, I wish I could get you to come meet me at my hotel in Richmond next Wednesday night. And then the Anastasia profile says, thank you, Richmond is too far for me. I'm looking to chat a bit before meeting someone.
And just for anyone that's not from Virginia, from Fairfax to Richmond, it's about 2 hours, 2.5 with traffic. Well, could be 5 hours with traffic. I don't know. But it's probably, so from Fairfax to Richmond, about maybe 2.5 hours or so. Okay. So it's all within the same state. Fairfax is in Northern Virginia. Richmond is right in Central Virginia.
So why would it be that you guys wouldn't have pursued this user?
Because all along, his plan was for the person to come in the house. Yeah.
And when we're looking again at the Anastasia profile, is it you and or Brendan who is operating the Anastasia profile?
Yes.
Then if we could move on to Commonwealth 69. So just making sure that we're looking at the same thing on the screen. I'm looking at conversation 447868690.
Yes.
Right, okay. So this person is looking for someone to meet up with at restaurants and coffee shops and just talking and getting to know one another. They'd like to go to an event eventually, and they say they're pretty new to FET world, but willing to learn. And then the Anastasia profile says, I'm not looking to go out on dates, sorry. Why is it that the two of you wouldn't have pursued, why would Brendan have not pursued this person to further converse with?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Didn't track the question.
So this person is asking to meet out in public.
Mhm.
Is that something that Brendan was interested in having the Anastasia profile do?
No,
Why not?
because again, you need somebody that would agree to come to the house. Yeah, so to do the things that he needed the person to do.
And meeting out in public is not something that.
No,
Let's look at the exhibit Commonwealth 70. I want to stay at the top first. Okay. So again, just making sure we're looking at the same document. I'm looking at conversation ID 452721523.
yes,
Yes, okay. So this user ID messages the Anastasia profile and says, saw your ad, I'm interested, a little bit about what I like and have done in the past. First off, restraints, and I've used rope and some leather cuffs and some vinyl tape. The profile goes on to describe pretty
Graphic.
specifically what experience and what equipment that this person has and can bring to this relationship. Is this someone that is this someone that the two of you might have been interested in?
can I just read it over?
Say that again?
Can I just read it over?
Yes, of course, take your time.
I don't think she was tracking the question fully. Brazil, their main language is Portuguese, I believe. I'm almost positive. I love Brazilian food. I went to and DC area has
Yes,
great food.
And if you could scroll down a little bit. So this conversation looks like it went on for a little bit longer than the past two conversations. Is that fair?
yes,
Okay. And then if you look at cell number 931, the profile says, the other user says, I would expect that you might want to meet somewhere in public before doing anything in private. Your call on how or when to do that. Most weekdays I could get away at some point during the day to get a bite to eat or coffee or a drink after work. And then it goes on from there. Did you guys answer that? Take a look at the spreadsheet and let me know if you see an answer to this request to get together.
no,
And why wouldn't you have responded?
because that's not something he was interested in, going for a coffee or.
So even though English is not her first language, so I know the Fairfax, Northern Virginia, that area does have translators if it's requested. Even though English is not her first language, she does seem pretty fluent, and she was likely offered a translator. I can't imagine that they didn't. Or she could ask for one if she needed one. If for some reason she was unable to understand the question. Honestly, I think sometimes the prosecutor's questions are just long and she's just not paying attention for the entire question. Do you know what I mean? And I think she's trying to be careful with her answers. So I just think this might be a way that she communicates. I don't know that for sure. Never met her. Those are just some of my general thoughts. All right, let's keep it going.
Meeting in public.
Okay. And then if we could go on to Commonwealth 72. And then if we can move down to cell number 571.
I have to blow up. Say that again. Sorry.
There we go. Okay, so in this conversation, and let's make sure I'm looking at the same conversation again. I'm looking at conversation 448599624.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So in this conversation, there's some initial talk. And then in cell number 571, the Anastasia profile says, I don't have restraints. It's something you would need to bring and be comfortable doing. Sounds really intense. And then there's more, but I'm not going to read that aloud. Why did the other user need to bring restraints?
Well, because we didn't have it. And whoever the person was going to be was supposed to bring all the stuff, like the restraints and or cups, whatever the person's supposed to have to bring.
And whose idea was that?
Brenda's.
And what else was the person eventually supposed to bring?
Eventually, you had one the person to bring a knife.
Okay. And when we look at cell number 572, this user responds to the Anastasia profile, and this user says, so I'm a vet. We need to work up to restraints. I don't recommend them until the second or third time, once trust is there. And then in 573, this user says, if you're for real, let's grab a drink or coffee in public to see if there's attraction, no expectations. I work out in Fairfax County on Tuesdays if you're around. And then Anastasia responds in 574. And is it you and Brendan still operating the Anastasia profile at this point in time?
Yes.
So you tell her, I'm not interested in going on a regular date. That takes away from the excitement and the thrill of the first meeting. Why is that? So this is the third time that we've seen FetLife users saying, let's meet someplace, let's meet in public. And this person says, essentially, I've been doing this a while, and usually we don't get to that part until the second or third time we meet. So why is it important why is it significant that, or why is it again that that the Anastasia profile keeps refusing to meet in public?
Because of the plan I had in mind, that would need to happen in the house. The person would need to come over, bring their stuff. And because it was not Christine talking. So there was no way going out on a date to first meet the person.
All right, let's move on to Commonwealth 71.
71, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So I just want to summarize, because that part that there were individuals that did not agree to this blind meeting just showing up to the house, because that's a red flag. And I wish that somebody could have reached out to, but normally these anonymous websites, they're not necessarily going to reach out to the police to be like, hey, there's a weird person requesting something odd. Or even within the system, I wish you could report something unsafe, because I'm sure some people were getting red flags from this profile. Really. So, really.
Okay. And then just again, make sure we're looking at the same conversation. I'm looking at conversation ID 446943660.
Yes.
This conversation, and I'm going to ask if we could just scroll through the conversation so we can see kind of the length of it. So it looks like this conversation is longer to me. Does it look longer to you?
Yes.
And if we could look at cell 145. So in this conversation, can you take a look at cells 145, 146, 147, and 148, 149?
Gotta fast forward a little.
Okay.
And so this user is still expressing, this is a new, this is a different user, and this user is expressing discomfort at coming to someone else's house. This user says, I mean, I'm more than fine to play that role, just not at someone else's house, where your husband could come home at any time. And then the Anastasia profile, which again, is that you and Brendan as the Anastasia profile?
Yes.
And so you tell this user that he works a set schedule and that she works a rotating schedule, and childcare responsibilities make it harder to plan around, and that they're only comfortable at my house and feel best about being there and recovering and relaxing at home afterwards. Again, the Anastasia profile, you and Brendan are saying, we don't want to come outside of our house. And is this for the same reason?
Yes.
And then this user in cell number 143 tells her, the concept is very hot, yeah, but the way you explain it does not look great on my side if anything were to go wrong.
Yep.
Basically, going into your home uninvited, tying you up and taking advantage of you. Is that what?
That's a crime. And so people are being very smart about this. Wow. All right. So we'll keep it going.
The intent was to have someone come in
Yes.
and to behave in the
I'm
manner.
sorry, I'm just going to object to the leading
Our
nature of these
leading
questions. It's been,
I'll sustain this meeting.
Tell me about it. Did you and Brendan ever agree to meet a FetLife user in public?
No.
Did you ever agree to meet another FetLife user at a hotel
No.
or at another user's home or work?
No.
And so ultimately, out of all the users in the Commonwealth of 67 and the few conversations that we've explored, Joe Ryan was selected.
Yes.
Who chose Joe?
Brendan.
And did he say why he picked Joe after interacting with him on FetLife?
It was mostly because he made Brendan feel confident enough that he would be the person to play the role they needed the person to play, which means being aggressive and hold her down and come over to the house and bring stuff and all that, yeah.
And did you and the defendant ever use any other form of communication with Joe Ryan?
Yes.
And what form of communication was that?
It was a telegram.
And were you present when the Telegram account was created?
Yes.
Who created the Telegram account?
Brendan.
And how did he do that?
He used her laptop on its anonymous page, and he had her cell phone with him at the time because he needed to receive a code on her cell phone.
She is very trusting of her husband. I rarely, and it's not that I don't trust my husband. I always have my phone on me. Like I rarely. Now my laptop might be in my office, or my laptop might be unattended. I do have a code to my laptop. Um, uh, wow. Like this is wow. So she's saying that he had her laptop and her phone.
So she could create the account on Telegram
And how did you and the defendant communicate with Joe Ryan on Telegram?
by texting.
Did you use any other form of communication on Telegram with him?
Phone call, phone call.
And who was it that spoke on the phone with Joe Ryan when you had that phone call?
I spoke to Joe.
You're not going to switch from the table to podium?
Which one? The podium?
Yeah, podium.
Okay, podium. Take the jury down.
When you spoke on the phone, did Joe comment on your accent?
Yes.
What did he
Those-
say?
That was the first thing he said. As soon as I said hi, he was surprised that I had an accent. And he asked, "Oh, you have an accent?" I didn't know. And I told him, yes.
Now I'm going to show you Commonwealth 73, and I would ask for this to be displayed to counsel and witness only. And if I could have the court's indulgence for just one moment.
Sure.
Gonna fast forward.
Ability has been stipulated by the parties.
All right, yes, sir. Okay, that's true, because 73 in evidence, thank you.
Yep, and so we could publish that to the jury.
Okay.
I'm going to scroll, this is a lengthy exhibit, so I'm not going to scroll through all of the bubbles, but I'm just going to scroll through a few pages so that you can get a sense of the two parties communicating. Now, in looking at these conversations, we see that the blue bubbles are from Anastasia. Who is operating the Anastasia profile on Telegram?
Brendan and I.
And then we see the green bubbles are from Joe. The owner is Joe.
Yeah.
Did you come to know who that person was, or did you learn who that person was?
Joe,
Mhm.
I mean, just when he came to the house that day, or
Okay.
24.
I'm looking at page 2. Joe sends a message on February 20th that says, "I'm looking forward to Friday." Who chose February 24th, 2023 as the date?
Brendan,
And did he say why he chose that date?
he did say why, but right now I can recall.
I'm going to scroll forward to page 28. I apologize for the scrolling.
Yes,
Did Brendan see that photograph?
he did.
And did he make any comments on that photograph?
Yeah,
What did he say?
that was not the knife he was expecting the person to bring. When he asked about the knife, he was expecting a pointy knife. That would be easier.
I'm gonna go back, sorry.
On that photograph? Did Brendan see that photograph?
He did.
And did he make any comments on that photograph?
Yeah,
What did he say?
that was not the knife he was expecting the person to bring. When he asked about the knife, he was expecting a pointy knife. That would be easier.
That's great.
And I'm going to move down to page 41.
So I'm speculating. I think the defense is going to, I don't know if they're going to say that the au pair was acting alone and he knew nothing about this. I don't know how they're going to fix this. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to try to say about this right here. Cuz this is bad for the defense. And my non-legal, not lawyer. This seems bad.
On page 41, we see the Anastasia profile. Again, is that still you and Brendan?
Yes,
Okay. And the Anastasia profile says, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, I do have a dog. She's very nice, but she will be in the basement."
Oh.
Who sent that message?
Brendan.
I am going to terminate this view here. If I could ask for it to be terminated to the gallery. Before February 24th,
Because he's also being charged with child harm because it was their daughter that was in the basement. I heard dog in the I didn't hear daughter. So the daughter was in the basement. That's who was, sadly. But because when her and him get there, they place the daughter in the basement and then they go upstairs. And it's minor. So the state believes that they made sure that Christine didn't have her phone, that her phone was intentionally placed, I think, in the kitchen or somewhere. And they also, that Juliana called the phone, and then she called Brendan to tell him that she saw Joe go inside. And then that's when he tries to go in, and what he wanted people to think is that he went in to save the day from this awful, horrible attack, when really the allegation is that they set it up. I believe the child was 4 at the time, young. I believe somewhere around there. I believe the child was around 4 years old at the time.
2023, the day of. Did the defendant ask you to do other things to get ready?
Uh, Can you ask differently?
Sure. Did you keep the same cell phone that you initially obtained when you came to the US?
No.
Can you tell me about your cell phone in relation to the date of February 24th, 2023?
Yeah, a few days prior, Brendan told us to trade in our phones.
Okay. And did you do that?
Yes,
And why did you do that? Why was it necessary to get a new phone?
because he told me to get rid of my other phone where it had our pictures and our stuff, and because even if I reset my phone, it was to be able to see the things I had before.
And what about your Apple ID? Did you keep the same Apple ID?
No,
Why did you change Apple IDs?
because they also said that it would be able to see through my Apple ID the things I had on my phone before.
And did Brendan get a new phone as well?
He did,
Do you know, did it happen at the same time or at a different time than you?
a different time.
And was there anything, were there any changes to the home?
Yes.
And can you talk about that?
They changed all the windows in the house, and Brenda's description of the window was more soundproof. That's how I would say it. I'm not sure if that's how you call it, but that was the description.
Okay. And what, if anything, did he have you do with regard to that?
After they changed all the windows in the house, he told me for us to test, and he had told me to go up to the master bedroom, and he would be outside in the driveway, and he told me for me to scream from the master bedroom to see if he could hear anything from the driveway, but I didn't do it.
Okay. Did you do anything different instead?
Instead, he told me so I could go out in the driveway, and he would go up to the master bedroom, and he would be the one screaming, and I would just tell him whether or not I heard anything, and also from the backyard, because the back of the house had trail and neighbors, and he will make sure people wouldn't hear from there.
And did you do that?
I was out to see if I could hear him. Yes,
And could you?
barely.
And then where did you usually park your car?
My car I would park normally in the driveway. Other times I'd park by the mailbox in the cul-de-sac.
And did you park it somewhere else in preparation for February 24th, 2023?
Yeah, the night before I parked in the cul-de-sac.
Why did you do that?
Brandon told me to do so because maybe Joe would come around to see what he was getting himself into, and or maybe in the morning, and then he would see a different car, and it would scare him away. And
And then, so those are all things that you did. Did the defendant do anything else in preparation for that day?
yeah, he went around in the neighborhood, checking for ring cameras, doorbell cameras, the doors. He knew that our neighbor, he didn't have cameras, and our neighbor to our left, and our neighbor John in front of us also didn't have cameras, but he was checking for other neighbors, and also changing his routine so that happened. You wouldn't be odd that he was at McDonald's like 6 minutes away, so he started leaving the house earlier to go to work, and he would stop by somewhere else to eat breakfast or something, and yeah, and so that you wouldn't be odd.
Okay. How did the defendant know that Christine would be out of the home on that morning?
She was
Or, I'm
supposed,
sorry, how did the defendant know that Christine would be at home that morning?
yeah, she was scheduled to work that Friday morning. And he had told me that he would talk to her out of it to like change. And so instead of going to work in that morning, she would be off and she would be at home. And
What was the plan for you and Valerie to be out of the house?
he had said about telling her that Valerie and I would go to.
So I mentioned this earlier that she's just kind of talking about this in a very flat, unemotional way. Now she's been interviewed multiple times, and her story has changed along the way. And the defense is likely going to point this out because this was not, at first, she said it wasn't him. And while she was in jail, I don't but I think they had I don't know, like, I think she let if I said Joe, I apologize, I meant Brendan. So Juliana let Brendan know that the state was trying to get her to say that it was him. And the defense might ask her what deals she was offered along the way from the state to turn on his client. So those things may come up on cross-examination. Um, this is this is a lot. We're gonna keep it going.
To the zoo, spend all day at the zoo, and we would be leaving the house early. And so, yeah, that was the plan for me and Valerie.
When did you tell her about the plan?
I told her it was a few days prior to, but I told her in person because he didn't want any messages where I would be asking, telling her about it. So the conversation I had with her was in person a few days prior.
And you said the conversation was in person, and why? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah. Oh, we couldn't hear.
Yeah, why was the conversation in person?
So you didn't be me requesting, telling her that we're going, asking to go, and yeah. So he wanted things in person.
And who wanted things in person?
Brendan,
Was there really an au pairs trip planned for the zoo that morning?
there was not.
When you woke up on the morning of the 24th, what happened first?
I woke up early. I think I had an alarm on my phone, and went downstairs to the kitchen.
Do you recall what time you got up?
I would say 6 something.
Did you wake up Valerie that morning?
No, Brendan did.
And
So Valerie is the child, is the 4-year-old. Okay. Just in case anybody came in a little bit later. Welcome. I'm Dr. Barry. Here we talk about true crime and psychology. Today we are watching live court footage. I'm probably about, I don't know, I'm a little bit behind live court, but this is testimony that we are watching together. I will likely cover this case again on Saturday. Let me know in the regular comments of the video if y'all have questions that go outside of this testimony. Feel free to put any questions you all have about the testimony over in the chat. All right, let's keep it going.
who brought Valerie to you that morning?
Brendan.
Did he say anything to you when he left Valerie with you?
She said Christine was asleep.
And what did you do next?
Next, I started getting her ready downstairs. And yeah, for now, I was just getting her ready, like in the living room downstairs.
Did you or Brendan text Joe that morning?
Yes.
And on what platform?
On what?
On what platform? How did you contact him?
A Telegram.
Okay. And in the Telegram messages, we can see instructions for Joe to park in the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
How?
What exhibit is this? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
What exhibit is this on
Oh,
the
I
screen?
apologize, Your Honor. This is Commonwealth 73.
73, so it's already in evidence, so
Yes, it
we
is
can
already in
publish it
evidence,
to the
yeah.
jury. Thank you.
Apologize, I'm not exactly on what page. I'm just going to move on. I can't find the page at this moment. How is Joe supposed to get into the house?
I told him during the phone call that the door would be unlocked.
Okay. And who unlocked the front door?
Brendan did using Christine's cell phone.
And
So they probably had some type of electronic lock where you could unlock and unlock the front door from a phone. Because I believe that phone is they're going to find that, I think, in the kitchen. That's according to the state's opening. I don't think that testimony has come in as a part of the regular trial yet.
I'm going to show you, I could have the view to be to counsel and the witness only at this point. Commonwealth's 231.
Was that 231?
231.
Thank you.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Do you know what that is? Do you recognize that?
I would say it's Christine's cell phone.
And do you recognize the app that is showing?
Yes, that's the tab that would control the front door lock and the thermostat in the house.
And is this the app that was used to unlock the door?
Yeah.
How is the door going to stay unlocked?
It has to be changed. It has to be deactivated through the app on the cell phone. The person can choose how many minutes the door is gonna
Okay.
lock in.
Judge, at this point in time, I'm going to ask to admit Commonwealth's 231,
Any objection? All right, 231
and that can be published to the jury.
and published.
Yes. What did Brendan do with the phone, if anything, after he made sure that the door would stay unlocked?
He deactivated the door lock on her phone, and he turned it off and hid the phone in the drawer in the bar area we have, like in the kitchen.
And at this point, we can terminate the view.
All right.
Before the two of you left the house that morning, did you have any other conversation with Brendan?
No, he had, after I texted Joe, he said, Brendan told me he would be leaving the house at that moment, for me to wait a few minutes before leaving the house with Valerie.
What, if anything, did he give you in that morning before the two of you left?
Gun,
What kind of gun?
handgun.
And what did you do with that?
I put it in my pocket, in my sweater.
Who was it that left the house first?
Brendan did.
And what was the plan for him that morning? Where was he going to go and what was going to happen next?
He was going to stay, he was going to go to the McDonald's, which is, let's say 5-6 minutes away from our house by the clock tower. And he would stay there until whenever I call him.
And what were you supposed to do?
I was supposed to stay in the car with Valerie to put something on her iPad for her to watch. And as soon as I saw the riot pulling up the driveway, I was supposed to give Christine a call, but her phone would be off, it would go to voicemail, and I was supposed to call him right away and tell him there was somebody strange coming to the house, and that I was scared, and
Okay. And so let's go step by step. Did you leave the house?
yeah,
Did you go to the car?
yes,
And did you put Valerie inside the car?
yes.
And did you begin to put a show on for her?
Yeah, I was trying to connect her tablet on the Wi-Fi on my phone,
Okay.
so I could put on a show for her on Netflix.
And then what, if anything, did you see after that?
I think for a couple minutes, I do not know how many minutes passed. That's when I saw Joe pulling in the driveway, and I was still parked in the cul-de-sac, and I called Christine's phone and went to voicemail, and I called Brendan right after, as he had instructed me to do.
And did Brendan say why he wanted you to call Christine's phone and then call his phone?
Yeah, so then you'd have the history, the phone call history on her phone that I had tried to call her. Yeah,
And then what happened next? You said you saw Joe arrive.
Mhm.
What, if anything, did you see him do?
he just went straight to the driveway, parked next to Christine's car, and I called. After I called Christine, I called Brendan, and then he picked up the phone, and I was telling him just the way he had said, and like there's somebody strange come to the house. I'm scared, and he told me for me to stay there. He would be coming home, and that he would try to also call Christine.
I'm going to go backwards a little bit. Do you recall when it was that Brendan told you, when Joe arrives, call Christine and then call me? Do you recall when he told you that?
It was throughout the whole process when he had all his plan in his mind, and then he just told me how things were going to happen. This is going to happen. You do this, and then you do that, and that's going to happen. But I cannot say for sure like the period like when that was. I cannot say it.
I wonder if his copious notes taking, he seems like somebody that's very detail oriented and that's very like, I don't know. The word that's coming to my mind is, so I don't know him, but I'm just talking in general. A little obsessive almost. And like he might want things to go a certain way. I wonder if his copious notes taking, if that might look to the jury like, yeah, I could kind of see him thinking ahead and thinking, oh, well, what about this? And make sure to do this and don't do this. Like, I wonder if that note taking is going to backfire on him at all. Now, having a distraction, especially during testimony, because the defendant has to manage their reactions, they have to manage their emotions. Often taking notes helps the person feel more grounded. He seems intense. He seems to be intently taking like copious notes as everybody talks. And it's his trial. So, but I wonder if that'll backfire. We'll see.
At this point, you've seen Joe Ryan go into the house. You've made your phone calls. What, if anything, happened at this point?
After I call Brendan, he says he's coming, and then a few minutes pass. Again, I don't know how many minutes, but it felt like forever. And he arrived. He parked his car next to the mailbox, and he got out the car. He was crossing the street, and I got out the car. I got Valerie out of the car too. Then we went following him to the back of the house, to the door that leads us into the basement.
Okay. And whose idea was it to go into the basement?
Brendan.
And whose idea was it for all of you to go into the basement?
Brendan.
And did all three of you go into the basement together?
Yeah.
And when you accessed the basement, did you go in through the front door of the house? Did you go in through the back door of the house? How did you get in?
The three of us got into the house through the basement door, which was in the back of the house.
Walk in.
And when the three of you went into the basement, did anyone lock the door to the outside that you had just come in after you went inside?
No, after when I started, I did not recall locking the door or doing anything to the door.
Do you recall if their dog was in the basement when you went inside?
I saw her in a flash, and also because I knew she was going to be there in the basement.
She was in the basement. The dog.
But what happened with her after that, I don't know.
Okay. Did she go upstairs with you?
What is it?
I'll move on. So is Valerie still with you at this point in time while you're in the basement?
Yes,
Okay. And so what did you do with Valerie?
Brenda told us to stay there.
For anyone joining, Valerie is the 4-year-old. Brendan and Christine's daughter.
In the basement. And again, I knew we were supposed to stay there, she and I. And he went upstairs to the main floor.
Okay. And what if anything did you do?
I just stayed with her. And after a couple minutes passed by, and I had told her for you to like stay here. And then I also went upstairs to the main floor.
Was that something that you decided to do, or was that a part of, was that something that you were told to do?
It was something else to do. It was part of his plan.
Say that again?
It was part of his plan.
Okay. And when you say it was a part of his plan, whose plan?
Brenda's.
Okay. So you left Valerie in the basement, and you said you went upstairs.
Mhm.
When you got to the main level, did you or Brendan lock the door at the top of the basement stairs?
I do not recall doing that.
And what, if anything, did you do next?
When I got to the main floor, Brenda was standing at the bottom of the stairs that lead us upstairs. And he was just listening. Then he gestured to me like for me to wait, just listen to the sound. And the sound was like slapping. When you're slapping somebody, that's the sound we could hear.
And
Content warning, this part may get graphic. Okay. So this is live. I don't know what's coming. So this part may get graphic. Manage your mental health. Come back, watch another video if you need to, or we will keep going.
what, if anything, happened after that?
I think we were listening to that sound for a few seconds, and he took his gun out. And because I also had the gun with me, I just did the same. And he proceeded to go upstairs, and I just followed him upstairs to the master bedroom.
Who opened the bedroom door?
Brandon?
Did you go inside the bedroom?
Yes.
And what did you see when you went inside the bedroom?
When we first get into the bedroom, I could see that the bed we have in the master bedroom, it was kind of tall. And so from my point of view, all I could see was like Joe at the moment, and it was Joe like on top of Christine in a way out on this pipe holding her down. And that was my first view as soon as I get into the bedroom.
Were you able to see Christine at all at that point?
At that point, no.
Did anyone say anything when the two of you went into the bedroom?
Yeah, when I got to the bedroom, Brendan said, he yelled, police officer. And Christine's first reaction, that was the first time I heard she say anything at that point. And she yelled back at Brendan saying, Brendan, he has a knife. And yeah, that's when Brendan first shot Joe.
Did you see Joe before he was shot?
Yeah,
What did he look like when he saw Brendan?
shocked.
After Brendan shot Joe, did anyone say anything?
If anyone said anything,
Yeah, did anyone say anything in the room at that point?
yeah, because Brendan ran to Christine. She was still on the floor, and I think that point she had seen me, and she said she had asked what to do to Brendan. I think regarding to that he shot Joe, and she said my name. She told me to call 911.
And what did you do?
I called 911.
And what happened after you called 911?
At that point, Joe was already shot, so that's the sound in the background. And Brendan looks at me and just in a way for me like to hang up the call.
Did he tell you? Did he say, Juliana, hang up the call?
No, he did not.
How did he communicate to you?
A gesture.
And what gesture did he make?
This,
Okay.
And so what did you do after he made that gesture?
I hung up the phone, the phone call.
For anyone joining, earlier in today's testimony, they played the 911 call where it was a hang up, where nobody said anything. So there were 2 calls to 911. There was the first call, that's a hang up. And then I think, because the state believes that Brendan took the knife and Christine. And then I think Juliana might have fired a shot maybe at Joe. I don't know. So, but they're gonna go into what they think happened after that. Okay. But what she's saying is corroborated with evidence. There was a earlier call to 911 and a hang up, and then a later call to 911. Hmm.
What, if anything, happened next?
Next, he was stood up for Christine. Joe was laying there, and did that for me to grab a towel from the master bathroom. We have the closet, and I just ran to the master bathroom and grabbed him a towel and to bring it to him.
And at this point in time, could you see Christine?
Yes,
What did you see Brendan do next?
when I was bringing him the towel, he got on top of her, and that's when I first saw him stabbing her with a knife.
Where on her body was he stabbing her?
The neck.
And were you able to see whether or not he stabbed her one time or more than one time?
When I first saw that happening, I ran to the other side of the bed, and I was just crouching down on myself and covering my ears and covering my eyes. And a few times I looked, and I was able to see him stabbing her, and he would stab, and other times he would hold the knife in a position how that was.
You said he was holding the knife in a position?
Yeah.
How was he holding it?
This position, I think when the way he stabbed, he was just kind of like holding it, putting pressure on it.
And was he just holding onto the knife at that point, or was he still stabbing her?
He was holding on to the knife.
Did you stab Christine at all?
I did not.
Did you touch Christine at all at this point?
No,
Did you get any blood on you?
I did.
And how did you get blood on you?
The blood on my hands, I remember, because at a point when he was stabbing her, I was kneeling, like she was here, and Brenna was like stabbing her, and I came closer, and it was right here, and I knelt on the carpet, and I had put my hands on the carpet, and as soon as I felt blood, I just removed my hand.
We'll see how credible the jury finds her testimony. The state had her go very early. This is day 1. I don't think they're going to get to cross-examination today unless this court goes late, or if the court feeds, because I think they've been going since 10 a.m. this morning. And it's currently Like it's like 5 o'clock. So yeah, they're gonna let court go. I think we're almost done with today's testimony. Okay.
It's from the carpet.
Why? What did the blood feel like?
Examination.
It was warm.
Did you get blood on any other part of you?
Yeah. On it was on my shoes, but also on my socks.
How did you get blood on your shoes?
I was walking around, I would say freaking out, and I was pacing back and forth, and it was pacing and staying in place, covering my eyes and ears, and I didn't want to hear what their conversation, and so I don't truly know like how I got blood on my socks.
When did you take off your shoes?
When Brendan had told me 21, 28, he was telling me basically to go to the master, to the closet, to the safe. And he was telling me 21, 28, and it took me a while to know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And I was like, 21, 28, what? And we said safe. And before I started going to the closet, he told me take off your shoes. And I took off my shoes, and I proceeded going to the safe. I got my teeth closed, like with my socks on.
Why was it that you went to the safe?
Huh?
Why did you go to the safe?
Because it was also part of his plan, and for reasons
I wonder if he was trying to make it look like a robbery, but why would you say 21, 28? Like that's just a weird thing. Like was he trying to make it look like it was a robbery that went wrong or something? Like was he going to open the safe? I don't know. We'll keep it going.
can't make sense of them now, given that I had the gun with me that morning. Yeah,
But he wanted you to go to the safe?
yes.
Okay, I'm going to show you a series of photographs at this point. And they are going to be Commonwealth 74, 75, 76, 77, and 78. And if I could have them displayed to the witness and counsel only, please.
Okay.
Do some questions about them. 76. Do you recognize these photos?
Yes.
And how do you recognize them?
These photos were taken at the police headquarters on the date that happened. And the last picture, it's a picture of my shoes and my socks.
And the photos that show us 74, 75, 76, and 77, are those a true and accurate depiction of the clothing that you were wearing that day?
Yes.
And is 78 a true and accurate depiction of the shoes and socks that you were wearing that day?
Yeah.
Judge, at this point in time, I would ask for the court to publish these to the jury.
Push them in evidence.
I'm sorry,
Any
I admit
objection?
them into evidence and then publish them to
All
the jury.
right. No objection from the defense, 75, 76, 77, and 78 in evidence.
And I'm just going to click through them so that they can publish.
I'm sorry. Oh,
What did you do next? After 21, 28, you went to the safe, came back. What did you do at that point?
at that point, that's when I stand in front of the dresser and the TV, and I'm telling Brendan that Joe is moving. He was moving, and Brendan, he doesn't have any reaction to that whatsoever. And I just start telling him he's moving, he's behind you, and that's when I fired the shot too.
That's when could you say that again?
I fired
And when you say you fired what?
a gun
The gun that was where?
in my that I had in my pocket, the handgun.
Did you hit anyone?
Yes,
Who'd you hit?
Joe.
I'll be interested to hear if that version of things, because it's just interesting that because I believe Joe is, I think I would have thought the first shot might have been fatal, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I don't know. I have questions about that part, and then also her socks, but we'll see.
What happened after you shot Joe?
After I shot him, he falls back.
Did you see Brendan touch Joe's body after you shot him?
Touching, no.
Did you see him interacting with Joe or Christine after you shot Joe?
Well, he was still stabbed in Christine, and he got her blood in a handful of blood, and he starts dripping on Joe's body.
Did you ever call 911 again?
Yes,
Why did you call 911 again?
I called 911 again when Brendan told me he was ready for me to call.
And when you made that call, do you recall what you said?
I think I do not remember everything he said. I remember saying that I guess a friend of mine was being stabbed and somebody was shot, and I couldn't talk the rest of the call. So Brendan took the lead, and he was the one talking to the
I'm on one.
responder on the phone call.
Did the police arrive that day after you called 911?
They did.
What did you do when the police arrived?
The person on the phone, the 911, she told me to not hang up on the phone and go make sure the front door is open. And so I went downstairs to make sure the door was open. And that's when they were already at the door at that point.
And that day, on the day that the murders took place, did you speak to the police that day?
Yes. I think the first time I spoke to the police was in the driveway, and they took Valerie and I to the police headquarters.
Did you talk to the police when you got to headquarters?
Yes.
And did you tell the detectives that you spoke with that day about the things that you testified to here today?
So what I told the detectives that day, it was the version Brendan had told me if I was ever to talk to a lawyer or this was ever going to happen, like this is what happened. The version I told the detectives that day, and that I eventually also told his lawyer the same version.
Ms. Bristler, is this a good break point for the day?
Yes.
Possibly? Or do you want to check with?
We're on a break.
Judge, if I could have 1 moment.
Yes.
Yes, Judge, this is a fine place to stop.
All right, just stay right there, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, since it's 5 o'clock, we're going to go ahead and release you for the day. Just a reminder tonight, don't look at any news, don't look at any social media, do not talk to anybody about this case, and please do not do any outside research, okay? And Deputy Johnson will take you back, and just make sure you get here tomorrow at the correct time so we can start right on time tomorrow at 10 a.m., okay? Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, jury.
anybody about this case or your testimony. That includes the prosecutors or the defense attorney, okay?
Okay.
You are allowed to talk to your attorney, Mr. Campbell, who for the record is present in the courtroom today, okay?
Okay.
All right, so you're excused until tomorrow morning.
Thank
All right.
Okay, so she still has an attorney.
Anything further for this?
I know that you can't judge people by their appearance. I do wonder if anyone on the jury will because he comes off in kind of a creepy way, but there are people that do horrible things that don't have a creepy look. So once again, you can't judge people based on how they look. But to me, he comes off a little strange to me personally. Just my own personal thoughts. This is a really sad case. I do think that I will be able to stream tomorrow from my office to cover the cross examination. Um, I believe I can go live tomorrow at, let's say, 1:15. So 1:15 Eastern, I plan to cover this again. Once again, this is gonna be like us watching it together without me having watched the full thing. I have some clients in the morning. I will have a stop time at 4 PM, so I'll be able to stream from 1:15. Depending on how long things go, I will have to stop at, by right before 4 PM. Yeah, I agree, Lisa. I agree, Lisa. But once again, you can't tell people from their face. I am following that case out of Ohio. The dentist and his wife that were, and her ex husband has been arrested and he'll be extradited from Illinois to Ohio. He did not fight that extradition. Emily D. Baker did a great job. She looked up the court records and the divorce and all of that. That will likely be a case that I follow because why? Like, it would be interesting to see what digital evidence comes out in this, and it does seem like they clearly can track him in a car going to Ohio and then returning back to Illinois. He is a vascular surgeon, the ex-husband that was arrested, and so that is a case that I will be following, closely as things move forward. Um, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. We went live a little early. I had a break and we were able to stream and do a little bit of live coverage. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.